What up, YouTube? This is Balball here with my first movie review. Now, I know what you're saying. Where's Thor? I wanted to do it, but, time got away from me. I just didn't have the time to do it, so I won't. If you want to see my review of Thor, leave it in the comments saying, hey, I want to see it. So, if, just do that if you want to see it. If you don't, then just leave nothing. And, warning, spoilers. A lot of spoilers in this movie review. This is of Green Lantern. Alright, so there's going to be a lot of spoilers. And so don't say, hey, you ruined the movie for me. This is your warning. If you haven't seen it, and you don't want any spoilers, just don't watch this. So, let's get into the review. Green Lantern was a okay movie. Let's just cover some of the things that they did. There's 4 things I want to touch up on before we get into the details. Plot, acting, voices, and then effects. The plot was okay. It's pretty much him downing himself and then he wins one of those plots. It's an okay plot, and it could have been better, but it's still kind of cool. The acting was great. Ronald Reynolds did an amazing job playing Hal Jordan. A little bit irresponsible and not kind of Hal Jordan-y as I always imagined. I've always imagined him being a very serious character who takes his job seriously. But this is a pretty nice interpretation of Hal Jordan. I do like. The voices for the aliens. Sinestro, Tomari, Abin Sewer, some of the Guardians, and Kilowog were perfectly voiced. Best voices for the characters. And then the effects. The effects were amazing. Some of the best effects I've ever seen in a movie. They're just really good. Definitely a lot of money spent, but it was well worth the money spent for the theater because it was just amazing effects. I mean, it was just amazing. So yeah, let's get into the movie now. The beginning of the movie pretty much explains the continuity, how the Guardians, the Immortals, created the energy, how they create the sectors, how they, divide the sectors, and create the rings and disperse them. So you got that, which was pretty cool. And you see Abin Sewer going to stop Parallax because he escaped, and that's pretty much the whole plot, is fighting Parallax, defeating him. I'll get into Parallax later. But, so yeah. And he pretty much gets wounded, and that's really nice. It tells us how he crashed. We've never really had, like, a backstory to him crashing. We know he crashed. There's some people that just, like, he said what he was doing when he crashed, when Hal Jordan found him, but we never had a story arc, so I do like that. We've had a few of him in the ship crashing, but never a direct plot, and I do like that. One of the highlights of the movie. How many are there? A lot. But yeah, and then we get to Hal, who we see is irresponsible. He sleeps in. He's a test pilot. What else are you going to have him? So yeah, that was cool. And then you see him crash a plane. And pretty much loses his job. But he doesn't. It's one of those things where you lose your job, but you don't. You're just punished. So yeah. He comes from a birthday party. Like, he's going to his nephew's birthday party, comes back, and when he's leaving, is when he gets, like, the ring, like, catches him and then brings him to Abin Sewer, who's already crashed at this point on Earth. And with that happening, let's see. With that happening, he gets, transported to Abin Sewer. He gets the ring. Standard Abin Sewer gives him the ring and the lantern. His friend picks him up so he can go. Government comes in, doing what the government does best. And, so yeah. Pretty much, figures, hey, this ring's doing stuff. Because in a fight scene, it's a small fight scene where 3 people try to beat him up. He gets beat up. Wants to throw a punch, but it's like this energy construct fist. And it just hits everyone. And I think that's cool. And that's when he gets taken to Oa. Oa is the center of the universe, the home world of the Green Lanterns. And he pretty much gets scanned and given his costume, and that's where he meets Tomari, who trains him and teaches him how to fight. Not fight. He teaches him how to fly and how to use the constructs, how to make them, and teaches him about the battery and stuff and the Guardians. And Kilowog, the drill sergeant, he pretty much beats him to a pulp in training him. And there's a good fight scene between him. It's a little small, but it's pretty good. Then you have Sinestro, who pretty much kicks his butt. But it was a good fight scene, I will admit. They had. And it was pretty good. I did like that. It was an okay fight scene, but you know, it was still a good one. So yeah, and you know, he pretty much realizes, hey, I'm not worthy for this ring, and pretty much gives up. He heads back to Earth, and he saves someone. Like, he goes to this party, and this plane, like, no, a helicopter, helicopter, crashes, and he saves them by building, like, this, like, like a car body around the helicopter, and just goes around the tracks to, like, slow it down. It's not the most effective way of stopping a falling object, but it's still kind of cool. And the interesting fact is that entire scene was paid by Hot Wheels so they can use it at any time for Hot Wheels advertisement. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you know, that's a little, it's good for marketing, but really not for a movie. I mean, that's not the most effective way, and even his friend complains about it in the movie. So that's pretty funny. So, yeah. I guess we'll get into Parallax now. Parallax is the living embodiment of fear. Instantly, that's just cool. And he got free, and he just, like, eats your fear, like, he absorbs it. It's so cool how he does it, though. And, he did kill Ivan Sewer, and Ivan Sewer was the one who, trapped him. And the government took Ivan Sewer's body and had this guy examine it, and that's when he got hit by Parallax's little, you know, he got his DNA merged with Parallax because there's some leftover evidence in Ivan Sewer. And so he pretty much, like, becomes a little mutated, a little weird, and, he's the reason why Parallax is heading to Earth. And, yeah. So Parallax turns out to be one of the Guardians. There were 9 in the movie, originally 10 though, and 1 fell under the power of fear because they were looking at, well, willpower's good, but let's find something else. And one of them fell in love with fear, as possible as that is, and kind of bonded himself with fear when he was trying to harness the power. And that's how you got Parallax, which is pretty cool. I do like the new intake on Parallax. Don't know much about him. I do know that wasn't the original origin, but I do know that is a really nice retake, in my opinion. So yeah, so you know, 9 Guardians, they look really nice. The effects were really good for them. Some of them talked, and none of them were named, but they did a really nice job with the Guardians. So yeah, Hal goes to Oa again to tell them, hey, you can't use fear. And yeah, but they actually do create a fear ring. And that's why he had to go back to stop them from using it, because Sinestro convinced him, hey, use fear to fight fear. And they actually do create the gold ring. Anyway, so Hal convinced them, hey, don't do it. You won't go back to willpower. You'll be consumed. You know, that kind of stuff. And he goes to back to Earth to stop Parallax. All by himself. He does. He gets him away from Earth, gets him into the sun, and that's how he destroys him. Parallax just burns, and that's that makes for a really nice effect. So yeah, you know, he pretty much is going to get sucked into the sun and die. Tomari, Sinestro and Kilowog save him, and yeah, happy ending. And he just turned out to be like this. You know, everyone thought he was, you know, useless, weak, and turned out to be one of the strongest and most bravest members of the Corps. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Nice ending, and yeah, it was a nice ending. Could have been better, but it was pretty good, and that made for an amazing fight scene, by the way, effects-wise. Pretty good. And finally, if you stayed for after the credits, you would have realized, now this is a big spoiler. This is after the credits, and if you're not going to stay after the credits, then you might want to listen to this. If you're going to, then you might not. It all depends if you want to be spoiled or not. So this is what happens after the credits. Alright. They lock up the ring. Sinestro breaks through the locks, steals the ring, and uses it. And he gets the Yellow Lantern Corps costume. Not the traditional, original costume where he just had black with some blue on him. It's the black and yellow costume, and it looks pretty good. Pretty much his normal costume. Just replace the green with yellow, and the normal symbol with the Yellow Lantern symbol. And so yeah, he does get the yellow costume at the end of the movie. And that's more for the second movie. So in conclusion, it's an okay movie. The effects were amazing. Plot was a little weak. Could have been better. Fight scenes were good. Good effects was amazing. Could have been better in my opinion, but they were pretty good. The acting was good. Voices were spot on for the aliens. So all in all, it's an okay movie. I would see it because it's the first Green Lantern movie ever. So do that because, you know, it's the first live action Green Lantern movie ever. And I think that's pretty cool. So yeah. But I do have a problem with it. They are going to make a second Green Lantern movie. And you know, it's going to be him fighting Sinestro. It's not going to be good because, well, think about it. Sinestro, on one hand, the living embodiment of fear. Which one makes a better villain? I mean, your enemy was the living embodiment of fear. It doesn't get better than that. But, you know, I have hopes for the second one. Hopefully it will be better. You know, a lot better. Anything could be better. I don't see how they can make it worse, but hopefully it will be better. I do have high hopes for it, and I would like to see it. It's going to be great seeing Sinestro with the Yellow Wing. And, all in all, the movie in general was okay. The second one, when they do start they are, like, I think writing a script for it right now, but when they do start on the production, and we do get it, I do have high hopes. I will see the second one. So, all in all, how you view the Green Lantern movie, and how it can compare up to a sequel that they're working on, it's your opinion. My opinion, I'm looking forward to the sequel, and I'm actually going to kind of think of buying Green Lantern when it comes out on DVD, if I have the spare change. But yeah, so all in all, it's all to your opinion. If you think it's an okay movie, it's cool. If you think it was a fail, it's okay. Leave what you think of the movie in the comment section. Also, if you want to see my, a review of Thor, I will film one if it's in demand. So just leave a comment if you want to see that down there. And finally, click around here to see my Green Lantern toy reviews I've done for the movie. I've done a couple of figures and one set. So yeah, click around here to do it. I'll be here while you're doing that, looking epic as I always do. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys Friday when I do a Batman video review. So I'll see you guys later. Adios, guys. Remember, watch the video reviews. Adios.